All right, everyone, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that Justice Ginsburg, there's a better than 50-50 chance she's dying of terminal cancer. It was pointed out the other day, hey, she had several lumps removed from her lungs. Do you think they arose independently in tandem to one another, just coincidentally, or do you think maybe there was metastasizing going on from somewhere else, some other organ system that's actually the primary source of the cancer? And by the way, the medical doctors, because of patient confidentiality, are not forthcoming about the issue. She's got cancer, dude. She's dying. I hate to say it, but Ginsburg's fall is a precursor to what's to come, which is she's going to fall and she's not going to get back up. The liberals need to understand this. You need to, before she dies or is forced to resign, which I think she should resign currently. And I say that I'm not a conservative or a Republican. I agree with Ginsburg on many moral issues. I don't have a problem with abortion, gay rights, all things of that nature. I would mainly disagree with her on guns, if anything. As someone who doesn't have a problem with her, I don't say like some people are like, oh, evil Ginsburg. Hey, she's not evil. She's doing what she thinks is right. She's been an asset on SCOTUS, generally speaking. She's a highly intelligent individual. Again, she can't live forever, though. Here you've got an 85-year-old woman. Recently, she suffered a fall, and she's had several cancerous nodules removed from her lungs. Do you know what the survival rate of lung cancer is long term? Not long enough to carry her into a second term of Trump if he wins. And that's really what this is about. She is under extraordinary pressure not to resign in hopes that 2020 will come and go before. Or at least that they'll get close enough to do what the Republicans did with Garland, say, well, it's too close to the election, we're not going to bring it to the floor. Keep in mind, ultimately it's about the Senate. The problem is, of course, within the Senate, they can change the rules. The Democrats have already laid the groundwork for them to be able to force it through anyway. The Republicans hold the Senate. The only thing that would be standing in the way of Trump nominating someone if Ginsburg croaks is Mitt Romney and his people. And I don't think they'd bother, and here's why. Name one moral issue that Trump has delved into since he was elected. Can you name one? Is he against gay rights? Has he said anything about abortion? Has he said anything like Jesus, like Bush used to fucking do, pretending to be religious? No, because it's not his campaign style, it's not his governing style, and he's a business Democrat. Trump doesn't care if you get an abortion. I assured people back during the election, like during the early primaries when the Democrats were like, oh my God, Hitler is running. I tried to assure these people, he doesn't care if you're gay. We've got 20 years of history of him not giving a fuck if you're gay. We've got track record of him saying, yeah, I'm kind of against abortion, but I wouldn't do anything about it because, he doesn't care about the issue. The real reason is there's no money involved. He's a money president. He wants to talk about taxes and trade and diplomacy and regulations, and that's it. His forte is not moral issues. When you think of Trump, do you think, oh, what a wonderful, moral, ethical individual? No, you think he's a fucking cutthroat. Go after Putin. Go after Jinping and stuff like that. That's what we fucking elected him for. Nobody wants to see him delve into moral issues. Liberal, conservative. No, trust me, the conservatives would not want him to give his real opinion on a lot of these issues. They would flee immediately because it'd be proven, yeah, he's only pretending to be religious. Here's the thing, though. Ginsburg is an old woman, and when grandma's 85 and she suffers a fall and then she has lung cancer and she might have other cancer too in its late stages, it's begun to spread across her body, how long do you think it is before she can't do anything anymore? Are they going to drag her corpse into SCOTUS to give oral arguments? They might have to. At some point, she's not going to be able to continue her work. For the first time since she took, the role, she takes the role very seriously. She's never missed oral arguments. First time she ever has, right after this so-called recovery. Look, she wasn't missing things before. That insinuates that her condition is worsening, not getting better. At some point in the next few weeks, we might get word, hey, she's not doing well, we think she's dying, there's nothing we can do about it, basically, hold on to your fucking asses, because tens of millions of liberals, I'll tell you what, this is an unfortunate truth, tens of millions of liberals in this country, the further left kinds, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes, are going to go ape. They're gonna go fucking insane over the issue. They think, oh my God, it's Armageddon. Trump gets a third justice. He's gonna replace the most far left maverick Madam Justice herself with some fucking far righter, and they will protest, and they will probably get violent, and there will be some chaos among groups like Antifa, and they will take to the online world and shitpost everything into oblivion. I guarantee that will happen because they'll be under social pressure. It'll be a bit like the MAGA people. They were under immense pressure, and Obama era comes along, feeling alienated. Jobs are drying up, wages are going down. There are social problems in the country. They were under a lot of pressure, And towards the end there, it was getting kind of dicey. It was like, tone down the rhetoric a little bit. Trump wins, their social alienation level drops like a rock. Now, of course, it's beginning to rise back up because we still don't have a wall. Some of these people care more than others about that. I'm like, yeah, but we got tax reform and regulatory reform. That's at least a good start, and I can't blame Trump solely for not building his border wall when he's being obstructed by fucking Mitch McConnell, of all people. It's mainly the Republicans standing in his way at this point. No, if Ginsburg dies, and there's, let's face it, a 50-50 chance maybe in the next 6 months that happens, if she croaks, Trump is not going to stack the court with a hyper-religious far-righter. He knows better. He knows enough about political strategy to know, hey, it's got to be someone technically on the right on some issues, like they can't be anti-gun. That'd be electoral suicide, probably. He'll put somebody who's like maybe a blue dog on the court. He'll put some center leftist who nonetheless is kind of leans right on certain economic and gun-related issues, and he'll leave it at that. And there'll probably be a female justice. Yes, it will. There are certain people who will be on his short list. He's probably already developing a list right now. And if you think that the inner circle of leftists in D.C. don't know more about Ginsburg's condition than the general public, look, when somebody with that much notoriety, suffer a fall, lung cancer and stuff, they're working from home, it seems like their situation might be getting worse rather than better. They're not recovering or they're recovering very slowly and poorly. In that situation, when they're very tight-lipped and they're like, well, we can't tell you anymore, patient confidentiality or whatever, and they're not immediately updating people every time she takes a fucking breath, you know that it's not good news for that person. Because otherwise it'd be like, hey, she gets in the limelight, she wants people to know, hey, yeah, I'm going to be fine, don't worry too much about it. Ginsburg is the sort of person who likes to keep the peace, if I had to read it. So I'm sure that if she were able to do so, she would give people an update saying, yes, I'm fine, you know, it might be a couple weeks, but they say I'll make a full recovery. Have their doctors come out and said they expect her to make a full recovery? No. Why do you think that is? Because they don't expect her to make a full recovery. They don't expect her to survive. That's ultimately what this is about. The left needs to come to that understanding before it happens. Calm your fucking jets. The right needs not to do any victory laps and try to force Trump to do something stupid like put, another Gorsuch on the court in her place. That might cause civil war if you tried to do that. It would be terrible for this nation. I know you're saying, well, we're not going to hold back at all. Okay, you can get your justice. He'll have fundamentally reshaped the court far to the right, since you can't go far to the left of Ginsburg on many issues. But to try to overstretching, being too confident in one's own capabilities and beating up on a dead horse, that's the sort of thing that loses elections. It's the sort of thing that loses ideological wars, because you win the battle, but you lose the war. And it's happened. The Democrats had this problem. That's why Trump's the president. They won some battles. They lost the ideological war for a whole paradigm shift. That's what's happened. But Trump could easily reverse that if he does, stupid shit and says, okay, now I think I want the next Scalia on the court. I think it'd be good. It's going to be a person I'm going to take someone who's very, very far right, extremely religious, and very vocally a proponent of ending abortion. Kavanaugh wasn't. Gorsuch, basically was a Scalia replacement. Kavanaugh, meanwhile, replacing someone in the center right, is a center righter. They tried to declare him to the right of Scalia. It was the funniest thing ever. And then the first decision he makes, the first major decision that he takes part in, he sides with the majority, with Roberts and the liberals, on an issue related to Planned Parenthood. So that blows the arguments of the left out of the water. And that's what they'll do. The left will come out to their people. If Ginsburg were to die tomorrow, they would immediately say, no, we cannot allow Trump to post to justice. It'll be terrible far-right individual. And they'll drag it through all the procedural cross-examination for weeks and weeks, maybe months. And they'll do the same thing only on steroids that they did to Kavanaugh. It'll be a floor show, so it'll still get through. But they'll do that. Some of the Republicans, like Romney, will buckle. They'll play the never-Trumper, and they'll drag it out, and it'll be a bunch of bullshit like it was last time. The person will get confirmed, and then all of the fears of the left will be dissipated, because very quickly it will turn out that it was prefaced on bullshit. That's ultimately what I expect to happen at this point. At Ginsburg, before, with just falling, it's like, well, she's getting up there, maybe she should resign. Now I'm saying she definitely needs to resign. She had lung cancer, dude. Lung cancer is not generally survivable. It doesn't matter if you have good medical insurance like a SCOTUS justice. If you have lung cancer, it is generally a death sentence within 5 years. So if Trump wins a second term, there's a 99% chance she kicks off before he leaves. I expect Ginsburg is not long for the world. People who think, well, you just don't like a strong, empowered woman. I have no problem with Ginsburg. There are other females on the court, too. I notice you don't talk as much about them. No, Ginsburg, yeah, Ginsburg's fine, but she's also an old woman. She's 85. She's already 10 years past the average life expectancy of a person in this country. She's now had cancer a second time. What more am I supposed to fucking say? She's probably not long for the world, and people need to come to terms with that fact before preferably it happens. She should resign. If she can't do her job, if she begins missing the oral arguments, she can't even work from home. If you can't even work from home, teleconference from your bedside, that's a problem. That's about all. Peace out.